Hey class, Trevor Dale, your instructor. I'm being a little bit lazy today and I'm doing one lecture for both the classes I'm facilitating, CTS 130 and NOS 130. The reason I'm doing this because this is a presentation or a lecture that's going to apply to both classes. And it may seem like this lecture is not going to have a whole lot to do with your course. And technically it's not. You're not going to find it in your books. You're not going to find it in your virtual environments that you should have set up by now. Wink, wink. So make sure you get those virtual environments going. Get in there, get logged in, start playing, breaking some eggs. Anyway, I just got done. I'm in a hotel room in Kansas City traveling for my job. But I just got done with a full day long relationship management and consulting framework class. And so it really got me thinking about doing this lecture today for you guys, tailoring relationship management from my world, which is analytic healthcare consulting, into your world, which is technology support, technology services. You know, you may not know it right now. You may not realize it because you're just getting started or you haven't tried it yet, or you're a purebred technician start to finish. But relationships is what is going to make or break your career, period. You can have all the talent in the world and have no personable skills, and no one is going to want you to be on their team because you haven't developed relationship management skill sets. And it's absolutely a skill set that can be built upon and trained and honed. It just, some people, relationship management and talking to strangers comes naturally. My mother-in-law and my mother are two of these people that there's no such thing as a stranger. Everybody's your best friend. And I'm not talking about taking relationship management to that level because I'm not comfortable doing that kind of stuff. But at a professional level, you need to be able to talk to people. You need to be able to effectively communicate your desires, your needs, your desired outcomes, your issues, your problems, anything like that. And so, a couple of statistics here. 58% of what you say has nothing to do with what you say. It's your body language, your posture, your expressions on your face. If you're maintaining eye contact, if you're leaning forward or back with your arms crossed and you're not engaged. So just know that. Only 7% of what you say is what you say. I know that sounds kind of funny, but take Siri, for example. She's a robot, or it's a robot. And they programmed inflection into the AI to elicit emotional attachment to its user. Now, that's the technical acumen to what you should do, even though you're not an AI. But you need to focus on the communication aspect of your job. So, for the CTS class, the troubleshooting element, you are client-facing is what they call it. You are engaged with the client on a daily basis, on an hourly, minute basis, sometimes a second basis, depending on how busy your office is going to be, where you're going to work. And there is a standard perception to technology individuals as being dry and dull and nerdy and geeky. And guess what? I'm all those things. I'm a nerd, geek, dry person. But you're not getting that perception right now, I hope. But it's because I have this ability to turn on effective communication. The second I turn off this video, I'm going to flop in the bed and watch television and be a vegetable. And that's okay. It's okay to have two sides or more to your life. And when people say, just be yourself, that's a hard one for me. I am a Gemini, okay? And that means I'm two-faced, basically. I don't really believe in horoscopes and all that stuff, but it fits me to a T. There is a professional me, and there is a personal me. And it's very much okay for you to have two sides as well and protect that personal you if that personal you is not the same as the professional you. So I know I'm getting kind of way out of pocket here as far as getting away from technology, so let me reel it back in. For support personnel, You're engaged with clients, customers, fellow associates, peers, leadership all the time. You have to be able to communicate with these people in an effective way, or else you're not going to be effective in your job. So the first and foremost thing, listen. Truly listen. Don't ask a question and go ahead and anticipate what you're going to say because you ran into it a million times before. I know what that's like. I do it on a daily basis, and I constantly have to remind myself not to. So always truly listen, because you may catch a glimpse, a spark of something unique that will allow you to help this client better. The second is mirror back, paraphrase, repeat back, or summarize what their chief complaint is. And then ask prescribed open-ended questions to drill down to the root cause. Now, sometimes you'll ask, hi, what, why, what, when, where, how. Those are open-ended starter questions. How did this happen? When did it start to happen? What do you do when it occurs? You want to stay away from the can and the do, because it's like, can you do this? That's a yes or a no. That does help when you're already into the drill down stage and you be able to kind of silo or more scrutinizingly identify a root cause. But you want to start big and go down small. And so the line of questioning is very important in your communication, and allowing that user to, in some cases, vent their frustration. That's very important. So listen, ask good questions, listen again, repeat back their chief complaint to identify the characteristic. I'm going to stop there. There's a whole bunch more things to go into, and this applies to both classes, because although the Windows 10 class, the NOS class, isn't necessarily going to be engaged with people on a daily basis, you're simply learning how to manipulate an operating system. It's a good life lesson, because technology is becoming an integral part of every single industry on the planet. Everything is going to be run off technology. And right now, I can't remember the statistic, it's 60-something% of the world market uses Windows. The other folks break down to Linux and Unix and Apple and other freeware and third-party things. But by and large, in the high 60s, people are using Windows operating system, which means you have opportunity to engage with the largest single audience based on your knowledge of one single operating system. Now, of course, this is technology, things evolve, things change. You gotta go out, get those certifications, you gotta go out and get those degrees, get qualifications that make you look good on a resume, and here we are getting back again into communication. A resume is a sheet of paper that lists out your qualifications. But you know what gets you hired? You do. You've got to be able to communicate in these interviews in an effective manner. And it all comes down to those key things I've already mentioned. Body language, asking the right questions, mirroring back and engaging, truly listening to the client, to the interviewer, to your potential boss, to your spouse, to your friend. Listen and engage. So that's it. There's tons of things out there on effective communication, relationship management, crucial conversations. I invite you to go look at Simon Sinek. He breaks down the biology and the science behind communication and effective leadership, and dopamine and endorphins and serotonin and all these chemicals in your body that are identifiable by yourself and by others. And communication is scientific. It is technical. And so being a master of these communication skills will only make you better at your job, and it will amplify your skill set. So I ask you to practice. Practice with your spouse or your friend or your coworker. And last thing, truly last thing, coming up on my 10-minute mark that I always try to stay around. Technology, you obviously are constantly engaging with the medium of technology. Email, IM, video chat, WebEx, conferencing. and very little time are you face to face with somebody. So what do you do if you can't see their body language? You have to have extra sensories. You have to have the skill set to truly listen, to identify what that person's posture is, what they're thinking by their tone. That's very important. And when you have the opportunity to be face to face with somebody, it makes it a lot easier. But when you engage through technology, a lot of times you're going to be in that, okay, remote assistant, and it all starts with a smile. And guess what? People can tell if you're smiling through a phone. If it goes ring, ring, go, help desk. Yeah, let me remote in, here's my number. Man, that is starting out bad. And I don't care what kind of bad day you've been having, but the other person may need a little bit of something good. Just a tiny bit of joy. You can answer the phone, help desk, this is Trevor, how can I help you today? Or if you be so bold, help desk, this is Trevor, how can I make your day better? It'll catch them off guard. They'd be like, what? And well, you can fix my problem. Then you go, okay, how can I help you? What's going on with you right now? And you have to say, all right, what's going on with you right now? That's not going to work. Anyway, that's it. Communication, effective communication, relationship building. Be effective with who you talk to and engage with who you're talking to on a one-to-one basis. Don't be multitasking and thinking about other things. You got to listen to the person. It will get you so far in your career. I'm sorry to say, networking and relationship building and effective communication will get you further in your career than your skill set. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. That is the way it is. That is the world. It's just speaking from experience. So that's it. Have a great rest of the week. If you have any questions, by the time I post this, I'll be halfway into my Hangout sessions. I'm really trying to maintain Hangout sessions every Tuesday and Thursday. So Hangouts, if you don't know what it is, by the way, it's Google Hangouts. You can Google it and look it up. And basically, it's just live access to me. I'll be accessible via text message. If you want to do a video chat, just let me know. Make sure I'm not, in my pajamas or something like that. I normally look like this. But anyway, I'm available on Hangouts Tuesdays, Thursdays, 6 to 8. So if you need to hit me up at any of those times, great. Other than that, always available via email. Make sure you get your virtual environment set up 100%, very important. And then start looking at your chapters, start reading through the material, and start prepping for the questions that you're going to be asked at the end of each week. A lot of assignments are coming up due. Make sure you get those assignments in, get them in on time. If you're going to be late, let me know so I can work with that and grade it appropriately. I'm not too much of a stickler on if you're like a day late. I understand life happens. This is an online course. But if you're going to be excruciatingly late, you better have it right. That is my one and only warning. If you're going to be late, be right. If you're late and wrong, you get double docked, okay? So that's it. Take care. See you later.